What's up, guys? We have our first OTA of the year. Alright, and let's go through this together. It will be some kind of an unboxing event, I guess. Some kind of unboxing video. Alright. Okay, Scream goes from 2-3 to a 2-2. Bug fix. No longer gain power as it. Okay, I'm pretty surprised with this. Right. The bug fix, we all know the bug fix is going to happen because it was leaked on Discord and then posted again on Reddit. But nerfing it to 2-2, I'm not so sure why this is needed. The explanation is that it has quietly dominated. Okay, fair enough. I do accept this explanation. I mean, when Doom 2099 was released, people were playing Scream with Doom 2099 deck. So yeah, okay, fair enough. Scream has indeed dominated for some time since her release. Okay, looking back, I made Infinite using a Scream Kingpin move deck during on her release. This season I made it to Infinite using a move deck as well. Mainly, it was supposed to, you know, be because I got Rocket Raccoon and Groot, but hey, it featured Scream. Scream was a big part of it as well. So okay, I do understand this change. All right. Spider-Man goes from 3-5 to 2-4. Simple buff for Scream decks to counterbalance some lost power. Makes Spidey a stronger potential option. Okay. I do like this first part. Simple buff for Scream decks to counterbalance some lost power. Yeah, it opens up a pretty nice turn 4 play if you were to ask me. Kraven plus Spider-Man, right? Or Spider-Man plus Scream. Yeah, so okay, fair enough. Yeah, but the second part, it makes Spidey a stronger potential option for some other decks that could use the buff. I don't know. Alright, I don't know. I'm not sure how it will work out. Currently I don't think there are any decks that are running Spider-Man just for his ability, right? And traditional move decks, what exactly do they mean by more traditional move decks? Traditional move decks want cards to move your own cards, not the opponent's card. I don't know, but I do think that this buff is pretty nice in terms of for Scream decks. People will probably experiment a little bit, but I am not that optimistic. Luke Cage goes from 3-3 to 3-2. Okay. Just happens. Okay. So, alright, so they are. Alright, well, dropping Luke Cage power by 1 isn't going to, you know. Look, if you are playing Luke Cage because you want to play anti-venom, you're going to play Luke Cage no matter what. Alright, even if Luke Cage is a 3-1, you'll still play it. Yeah, so I don't know. I really have no idea. If you were to ask me, I think this change will only impact Cerebro 3, Cerebro 2, and that's about it. Hang on, I have a call from my best buddy. Let me just alright, let us continue. Luke Cage change. Okay, US agent goes from 2-3 ongoing -4 to new 2-3 ongoing -3. Okay. Okay, to be fair, okay, I I know US agent got a buff after his release, but I was taking a break when US agent was released, so I have no idea on what US agent was like previously. Okay, I do think that yeah, US agent was quite impactful in that sense, and I've mentioned in many times in my previous videos that I feel that the game is moving towards smaller cards, all right, lower cost cards, and yeah, partially it's due to US agent. It's so easy to throw in an US agent to into the mix and screw with 4 5 and 6 cost cards. So okay, I do like it. I do like it because I do like seeing big 4 5 and 6 cards that have huge impact, and yeah, that can win you the game instead of trying to build up things slowly. I fancy both styles of play. Alright, so okay, I do get this change. And yeah, US agent sometimes just feels unfair. I mean, you slam US agent into an Iron Man lane and it's a -8, guys. It's a -8. It's very, very difficult to recover from a negative. And in terms of total power swing, is 11. Right, because you're giving them -8, you're adding 3 yourself. It's insane. Right, so I think this change is fine. This change is fine. Keza goes from 044 to 45 classic strategies. Okay. Okay, so basically this is just power crap. This is just about power crap. But here's the thing though. Here's the thing. With the release of Moonstone, Keza has basically. Right, let's first talk about where is Keza's place. Keza's place is only in 2 decks, one Zoo and the other in Patriot Ultron decks, right? But Patriot Ultron deck basically Keza has lost his place with the release of Moonstone because you'll be better off playing Moonstone into the Patriot lane, right? Because Patriot gives +2, Keza gives +1, right? So obviously you want to play Moonstone instead to duplicate the Patriot, and Moonstone has an additional impact whereby if you play a mistake, okay, and the mistake copies Patriot, Moonstone will duplicate that effect again, right? So yeah, now you have 4 Patriots. You have a +8 each, rather than duplicating a Keza, rather than throwing a Keza and you just get a Patriot mistake Keza. Right, so yeah, Keza in Zoo you get basically an additional 1 power. Pretty nifty though, pretty nifty I would say. But here's the thing, Zoo decks, you sometimes when I play Zoo, sometimes I don't even play my Keza out, right? Because sometimes you rather have your Kate Bishop to clock them. You want to play your Marvel Boy, you want to play your Shanna. So yeah, I do think that this is a step in the correct direction. I think this is just a very minimal buff. This is just a minimal buff. Okay, I really don't see it impacting. I don't really see it going to move the needle for the win rate much, right? As they mentioned here. Right, I don't think it's going to move the win rate neither much. Hydra Bob. Alright, goes from 1-5 to 1-4. Well, we were expecting it. Everyone was expecting this. Let's be very honest. Alright. It feels kind of shitty though. It really feels kind of shitty, right? Because like what they mentioned. Alright, they Hydra Bob was released as a 1-4. They adjusted it to a 1-5. They declared that they're going to change it to a 1-5 maybe like 3, 4, 5 hours before the rollover will happen, right? So there were a lot of people who just decided to cave in and get Hydra Bob, and now they're changing this again. I think that's the part that is shitty, but it is also a fact that Hydra bot has been, you know, everywhere in every deck. Alright, basically Hydra bot is basically like 1-5 without downside. Sure, yeah, he moved on snap, but look, nobody's snap happy. There's a limited number of snaps that can happen in a game. And yeah, so most of the time Hydra bot is a 1-5 without much downside. And even if he moves, look, even if he moves, there are two things that you can counter. You can sort of like counter against the movement. One is, well, you can fill up a lane, and second thing is, even if Hydra bot move, your opponent still have to deal with the 5 power, which is a lot. Alright, for a 1-cost card. It's not like Murderer, whereby, you know, she moved to lose. Hydra bot doesn't. Right, so in that sense, yes, Hydra bot needs a nerf, but I don't know, man, it feels shitty, especially after they, you know, buff it to entice people to, you know, spend the keys. So yeah, but it has been a good many months run. Yeah, Sentry goes from 4-8 -8 to 4-9 -9. Okay, so they are also buffing Sentry. We are not on increasing the options for Sir. Okay, so this is kind of this change should have happened long ago. Alright, it was crazy because Sentry was 4-10 -10, and basically just got a nerf straight down to 4-8 -8. So this was, I would say, I believe this is the harshest nerf ever. Harshest ever singular nerf to a card. Right? Basically with this you are taking away 4 power because Sentry is played with, you know, Annie or Viper. So, you know, we were looking at the whole combo, the whole package. But when Sentry went from 4-10 to a 4-8, -10 to a -8, it was crazy, man. You are taking away 4 power from this card, from the combo. So it was a very, very harsh nerf. I'm glad we are at 4-9 -9. I think 4-9 -9 is something that everyone would have been happy to accept the last time round, but they decided to go super hard on Sentry the previous time. So yeah, this buff back has been way overdue. Onslaught goes from 6-7 to 6-8, nothing much to see here, blah blah blah, extra power. Okay, so basically 2 words, power creep, that's all. The explanation is basically just on power creep. Yep. Alright, but my only issue with you know, I do understand that power creep is something real, but sometimes when we buff these cards, we have to consider new players who are in Series 1, Series 2. How would this impact them? Yep. Mr. Fantastic goes from 3-2 ongoing +2 to 3-1 +3. Okay. Oh, okay. 2, 4, 6. Okay. I think this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be very interesting in the sense that first of all, the first thing that to come to my mind is it's good for preventing collectors, but that's just me, right? Okay, the thing is, most of the time we are not expecting a sudden spread, you know, a sudden +3 on the sides, on the flanks in that sense. Okay, and we know that Doctor Doom is so popular because it has you know, you're gonna hit white in that sense. Okay, so I do think this change makes Mr. Fantastic a little bit more applicable. Okay, because if you play, you can give up mid, you can play mid, and then it hits +3 on left and right, which can come in pretty unexpected. Okay, pretty interesting change, pretty interesting change. But I don't think it's going to be meta breaking because the competition for 3 costs is just so competitive, right? But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I would love to see people playing it, and maybe with Moonstone, right? Because with Moonstone, it'll be a +6, which is very very interesting. All right, suddenly they are dealing with this kind of wow, this kind of madness, this kind of surprises. All right, and I think we're at the last, the last change, the Diva change, Hela. 6-7, resurrect all cards you discarded to random locations with -3. 6-9, for each different cost among them. For each different cost among them, resurrect a card you discarded. Okay, let's spend some time reading it. Okay, so if you were so from my understanding, if you discarded, let's say, 3 6-cost card, you only resurrect 1. If you discarded 2 5-cost, you only resurrect 1. Okay, so now Hela decks are no longer just throwing a bunch of 6-cost and then discarding them. Okay, so in terms of this rework, I do think that this is a nice rework, right? Because right now you have to actually think about what cards to fit into a Hela deck rather than just shuffling everything, shuffling a ton of six drops. So in that sense, I do like it. I do like this rework, but I'm pissed because I just got Blink in my 4th catch this week, and I thought I'll be able to play the Blink Hela and cheese out a shiny avatar if I were to really want it, and they have this change. Okay, so that sucks for me, but overall I think this Hela change is nice. I do think this Hela change is nice. At least when you lose to Hela deck, you wouldn't feel so. You'll probably still feel shitty, right? Because the basic gameplay hasn't changed, but at least that person actually put in some thought into building the deck rather than just throwing a bunch of 6-cost cards. So yep, I do think this change is nice. I do think this change is good for the game, but not good for me since I just got Blink. Alright, so this is the first OTA of 2025. Overall, I would say that I don't have anything. I actually don't have anything negative to say about this OTA. Yeah, I actually don't have anything to say about this OTA other than the Sentry change coming way too late, and ethically I have no idea why it's kind of bad to entice people to and then nerfing it back. So yeah. Alright guys, that's my take on the first OTA of 2025. Happy snapping.